Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome to part 2 of the off-season special here at the Colorado Rockies. Now, of course, in part 1, we got all the awards out of the way. We saw, of course, we have MVP Andy Sigilio at the club now. We sent Baez off to the Dodgers and we basically got to free agency. So today it's, I guess, the fun part of it as we look to rebuild the squad. Now, raiding free agency where we can, do some trades. There's a Rule 5 draft as well. It's going to be fun. It's going to be busy. So let's get the episode underway. Oh, mate, this is excellent news. No, we're happy to have you. No, come on, mate. Age is just a number. Experience, mate. That's what I like to call it. So there we go. Our first major signing of the offseason is done. Yu Darvish, we have signed him as a free agent, $18 million a year. Now, it's a 2-year initial deal. Actually, well, it's a 2-year deal. We have an opt-out after 1 year. So if he turns out to be a bit of a flop, we're not stuck with him. We don't obviously want more than 2 years. That makes him 39. And that is, well, that's getting to the point where you're too old to do it, isn't it? But I think, I am actually quite positive about this. He's last year showed no signs of slowing up. ERA of 3 or from 24 games started, a whip of 113, ERA plus of 147, a WAR of 3.4. We can only really go off of that. And he did fine. He has got a large array of pitches, which he throws very well. He's got good stamina. I really don't see necessarily a downside to this. It's a 1-year deal technically. You know, we can cancel it after one. I think he comes into our starting rotation and he makes us better. And that's all you can really ask, isn't it? So Yu Darvish is a Colorado Rocky for the next season, maybe 2. Breaking news out of the Colorado Rockies as the club announced the signing of Cy Young winning starting pitcher Jack Flaherty on a 7-year, $130 million deal as GM Aussie Villain looks to further strengthen his starting rotation. Now, Villain was quoted as saying, "Hopefully last season was just a one-off for Flaherty, otherwise I've just made a very expensive mistake." So there we go. Jack Flaherty has joined us from free agency, and well, let's hope he's going to be a success for us. $18.5 million a year, give or take. My concerns with this guy, not the greatest movement, a fly ball pitcher at our home ground could be problematic. But what got me across the line is this: historically, his whip is really, really good. Last season, I'm really hoping was just a little bit of a one-off for him, where he had a relatively high whip, a much higher ERA. So we're hoping that was a one-off, because I'm figuring that if he's not giving up base runners, if he gives up a home run every now and again, if there's no one on base, then that is not the end of the world. We should be able to cover up for that on the occasion that it happens. So we're hoping that that's what we're going to get from him is previous season's form. He does have an opt-out after 4 years, and we have an opt-out for the last year of the deal. I figured, to be completely honest with you, 4 seasons, we're probably going to have moved on to Out of the Park Baseball 22, so it'll probably never come up. But also, we might be looking to move on to pastures new at that point anyway. So that puts him into a starting rotation that's beginning to look not too bad. Flaherty, Marquez, Robbie Ray, Darvish, and one other, which we have Kawhi right now. That is still up for grabs. Ohtani, we're looking to move on from being a pitcher this season. We're going to move him into the bullpen. I should probably change that. You can see his pitching attributes are just not there. So I'm hoping, let me know if you guys are aware, if he's in the bullpen, I'm assuming he can still play a game. But we'll look to use him more as an outfielder, because I think that's where his greatest value is. I did try to trade him. There was nothing that was really available to us there. So that's the way pitching is shaping up. And of course, we've still got youngster to come in yet, Hancock. He could be the 5th starter that we're looking at, to be honest. But we'll wait and see how he goes in spring training. We don't want to rush him in if we don't 100% need to. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way that we're shaping up here. That, in theory, is a very, very good bullpen. I'm also torn to the idea of if we try and trade Marquez, given that he is fragile and he is a free agent into the year. But I think he could be useful for us, so I'm tempted to risk it and see how he does this year. But anyway, We'll see what else we can do. There might be some trades to be had, but that is roughly how we're looking or shaping up for next season now, and that's not the worst. Okay, it is Rule 5 draft time, and this season we are going to be taking part. There are 2 players in particular I have my eye on. The first one here, you can see at the top, is shortlisted, Kevin Alcantara. I mean, this could be the new Jackie Bradley, couldn't it? He is maybe not quite ready yet for Major League Baseball, but I mean, defensive player like that, will stick him down the bottom of the order. We'll be very, very happy with that. Thank you very much. And we'll take him off the Yankees' hands. And speaking of taking players off the Yankees' hands, the other player I have my eye on here is third baseman Vallejo. Now, we have a good stock of third baseman. Obviously, this is Ryder Jones' position. But what I'm thinking here is for one season, we could look to put... Obviously, he'd need to stay in the starting lineup or in our active roster this season. We could put Velarde back down to AAA for a season, get this guy in, and have him in the system then. And we've got a very, very good third baseman. So we're going to try and take 2 players off the Yankees' hands here if we can manage it. So we'll get into the draft. There's a few players of ours that we could lose. Hollywell here, we're going to take the risk. He's 26. It's not the end of the world. The other player that we could lose is first baseman Toglia. Again, he's a decent player, but we have Evan White. We have other guys. Ryder Jones can play first base as well, and a couple of others. So if we lose him, we lose him. I'm not gonna protect him for the sake of it. So let's get into this draft and let's see exactly what happens here. Now, where are we? We're drafting towards the end, so it may well be that we never, we don't get the chance to take either of these guys. But well, we're certainly going to have a go at it, aren't we? I've clicked the wrong thing there, haven't I? So let's take this back to the top, move that back around, and hope that one or both of these guys is still around when we come up to have our go. So our color is still there. Alcantara. I mean, it's perfect, isn't it? It replaces Jackie Bradley without us having to do anything. So I guess we can just take him, can't we? So there we go, job done. We've got in a center fielder. Let's go and now see if we can get ourselves that third baseman. Is he still there? He is still there. So this is going to be a very, very profitable Rule 5 draft for us. So we'll draft him in. And we've really got nothing to lose because, if we have to end up not leaving him in the team all season long, they just go back to the Yankees. We've lost nothing. So this is, this is looking superb. All right, so let's go and have a look and see here. Did we lose anybody? Okay, so this is the way the draft went. It looks as though we did lose one player, Jacob Wallace, 25-year-old bullpen pitcher. He's probably useful. Actually, he did really, really well in AA last year for the little bit that he pitched there. But yeah, not the end of the world. We've got our 2 guys in, though, so we've strengthened further. This is, it's been a busy off-season, hasn't it? Alright, a quick update on Hall of Fame voting. No one's been inducted this year, but a few have dropped off. Gary Sheffield, who I thought would go in actually, he's been dropped after his 10th season. Also dropped, first year is Adrian Gonzalez, Ryan Howard, third year, James Shield, first year, third year, Jake Peavy, second year, John Lackey, fourth year, Mark Burler, is it? Prince Fielder dropped third year, Brandon Phillips dropped first year, and Miguel Montrero dropped first year as well. And a bit of an update on some players of ours that left that have joined our other clubs. Zantazella has gone off to join the Dodgers. So he's on larger money now, 10.6 a year. I think the way that things worked out for us, I'm okay with it. With losing him, we'll come up against him. No doubt he will turn into a Cy Young Award-winning superstar. Looks like he's going to be a bullpen pitcher for the Dodgers, according to that. And the other player that we've lost, and the fans aren't happy with it, but where are we here? Here it is here, Jackie Bradley. You can see the fans, they didn't like it, but he has gone off to join the Cleveland Indians. So he's on 8.7 a year now. Again, I don't think he was worth that for us, and I think we've landed on our feet again there in terms of center fielders. Just wait, it's a big step up for Alcantara and also for our shortstop as well. But if they can make it, I think we come out all the better for it. So this is a strange one. Pittsburgh Lumber Kings, no longer the Pirates. Fair enough, I suppose. Okay, we are now at the beginning of spring training, which brings us to the end of the episode. But before we do that, a quick review of what we have right now to start the new season. So the starting rotation, the way I see it, Jack Flaherty will be number one in that rotation. New signing, of course, $18.5 million a year. Number two in the rotation, I think we're looking at Herman Marquez, his last year before free agency. So we'll have to wait and see what becomes of that. Number three in the rotation, I think we go with Robbie Ray, strikeout machine. So we'll just trust him to be able to keep that going. Number four in the rotation, another of the new men, Yu Darvish, $18 million a season for 2 years for him. So let's hope he can keep up his 3 ERA that he had last season. 4-time All-Star, of course, as well. Number five in the rotation, I've gone back and forth on this. I'm thinking maybe Jackson Kawhi. He was quite good for us 2 seasons ago. Last season was not quite his best, but I think he could do a job for us still. If we're looking at the bullpen, I think the closer will continue to be Tommy Doyle. 40 saves last season, 35 the season before. He's fairly reliable, so he'll stay there. The 2 setup guys, we're looking at Patterson, though he could change. He didn't do too well last year, ERA of almost 5.5, which was a big step up on what he'd done the previous 2 seasons. So we're hoping that was just a poor season for him. Junior Fernandez, of course, we know he can be an absolute god. So let's hope he continues to keep his ERA going the right way next season. Middle relief, Ohtani, well, he's going to be used more as an outfielder. We're kind of giving up on him as a pitcher, but he'll be a bullpen option if we need it. The main guys in middle relief, though, will be Ty Tice, of course, our pitcher of the season last season. Also, we have Kalina, who did quite well last season, ERA of 3.30 for him out of the bullpen, so he'll keep his spot in there. De Jesus, he will come out of the rotation into the bullpen. We can see that he is quite a good bullpen pitcher, so he'll be in there this season. And also for now, Fletcher, brilliant 2 seasons ago, poor last season. So it's a little bit of the sort of a payoff season for him. We'll give him a chance to start and see where that takes him. The 2 long relievers, Valdez, who was an all-star as a reliever last season, so no reason to change him. And of course, Alcala, who was brilliant last year. We missed him, I think, in the playoffs when he went down injured. But he's never been anything other than super reliable for us, so he'll keep his spot in there. The one we're looking at for spring training that could earn themselves a spot is Emerson Hancock. He's just about ready. He could come in and be that number 5 starter. He could come into the bullpen, perhaps. Spring training will go a long way towards seeing what he does. You can see last year he was okay in AAA, but maybe he needs one more season there or half a season there we'll wait till someone gets injured, then maybe he can come in. Starting lineups. Now this is the way we're looking to line up. Rogers as the second baseman and leadoff man. He did okay there last season, so I don't think there's any reason necessarily to change that. Though we could potentially down the line, because his average was lower last year than it has been batting at sort of second, third in the order. So maybe that's something we could look to do. David Dull. Now, my question to you is, do we try and trade David Dull, knowing that we have Heron, who I'm assuming got called in. We've got Heron to come in and play left field. Now, attribute rating-wise, it looks as though he could be better. The question, of course, is that will he actually do that, or do we stick with the man we know in David Dull? Now, what we could get if we were to trade for him is we get to get someone like Austin Becker from Atlanta. Now, he's just a prospect right now, but I don't know if he's worth the risk. Other options, again, just a prospect for now, but from the Reds, someone like Leon Richardson. I mean, again, he could be a good starting option for us, but we're sort of trading unknown to an unknown. We could get someone like Tyler Marley, I think you've pronounced that. Again, starting pitcher. This guy is more ready. 2 years left on a $10.5 million deal. That is another one. It's tempting. Caleb Ferguson would be an option, but do we really want to send him to the Dodgers? But again, he's only 27. He has 4 years left on an $11 million dollar deal. That would mean we wouldn't have to face Caleb Ferguson, though he's maybe not the best starter, though he's done well for the Dodgers. We could look at someone like Brendan McKay here. Now, this is another two-way player. Again, he's a first baseman, which we don't need. But again, in the National League, a pitcher who can hit. Now, have we been bitten by this bug before with Ohtani? Do we go for it again? He is fragile as well, but he's got, what, 3 years left on a $6.7 million deal? A little bit different, but we could get Bo Bichette. Again, 3 years left on an $8.9 million deal. Now, the downside to this, obviously, is we have our youngster, who is a better defensive player, but Bo's bat would be very, very tempting into Colorado, wouldn't it? So those are the options. Now, of course, the other side of it is that we've got a player here whose bats 300 more or less season in, season out, even higher than that. He was injured for a bit of last year and didn't have his best year. But is he just starting to fade? Knowing we have Herron, could we do a little bit better? But, we've got a $13 million contract for the next however many years. Yeah, I'm tempted. I'm tempted to let him go, but I also see that he's been a very good player for us. But let me know what you guys think of that in the comments. Batting number 3 at first base will be Evan White, continuing to be one of the stars of the team. MVP, Andy Sagilio, he will bat cleanup. He will be right fielder. He could play left field for us as well if we need him to. Batting number 5 at third base will be Ryder Jones. Now, of course, we have the guy we brought in on Rule 5 draft, who is a right-handed hitter, so they could almost alternate that role depending how Vallejo gets on. Batting number 6, our new center fielder, defensive gem, Alcantara. So we'll see how he gets on. I'm relatively confident he'll be able to make the step up. It's a big step from AA to Major League Baseball, and of course he started last season in High A. So it is a big, big step, but we'll see how he takes it. Batting number 7, the shortstop, of course, Tamar Johnson. He's only 19 again. He's making the step up directly from High A all the way to Major Leagues. He can play second base as well, so maybe we could move him to second. Hang on, brainwave. He could play second base. Bo Bichette could come in and play shortstop. Brendan Rodgers we could look to trade as well. This is something to think about, isn't it? Let me know your thoughts on that. Yeah, and then of course Vazquez, the one of the stars of the team. He was the Golden Glove winner last year behind the plate, as well as batting over 300. What a star he is! And then we've got a couple of backups, but they'll sort of sort themselves out during spring training. So that's the team we have. Let me know what you think of it. Let me know about the trading options we have. Dull, potentially Rodgers as well, and we get Bo in. Would Bo be a better bat than Rodgers? And that's another question, isn't it? Maybe we're losing a little bit defensively, I think, at shortstop if we do that. But anyway, let me know you guys' thoughts on that in the comments. If you've enjoyed this, hit thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you next time for opening day. And opening day is going to be us hosting the Arizona Diamondbacks. So I look forward to that, and I dare say we might even have done a trade or two by then. Take care.